Hello, I'm Tom Varner, and welcome to Adventures in TV Land. For today's adventure, we've come to Custer State Park in South Dakota, and we are going to attempt to climb Black Elk Peak, the highest point in South Dakota. This bench is at the start of the trail. Now, Black Elk Peak used to be called Harney Peak, named after General William S. Harney. Now, William S. Harney lived a very complicated life. At least people would say it's complicated now. He basically just lived a regular life for the most part at the time in which he lived. For a while, he was known by the Sioux as the Mad Bear because he gained some notoriety when his regiment, they slaughtered a bunch of innocent Sioux Lakota women and children who were hiding in some caves. They thought they were a bunch of warriors, and they shelled the cave with cannon fire and later discovered it was women and children. And so for many years after that, he was known as the Mad Bear. But in his later life, he became known as the Indian Defender, or also the man who keeps his word, because he believed that the treaties that the United States government had with the Native American tribes, they should be kept and they shouldn't be broken. And so he fought for Native American rights. Harney was also good friends with both General and later President Grant, as well as Jefferson Davis. He had served, I believe, and studied with both of those men at West Point. We like to place people and historical figures either as heroes or villains. But the truth is, no one's really a complete hero or a complete villain. We are all capable of doing heroic acts as well as villainous deeds. And truth be told, if we were honest, our most heroic people that we look up to in life have all done something or several things quite villainous at one point. And even the greatest villains, at some point, probably did at least one heroic thing. I look back at King David in the Bible, who did so many heroic things, but then he did some pretty villainous things as well. I mean, he had one of his closest friends basically murdered so he could marry his wife, whom he was having an affair with. Anyway, in 2015, I believe it was, the U.S. Geographical Association or Society, which is responsible for naming things, various points in the United States, geographical points, changed the name of Harney Peak to Black Elk Peak. And so that's what the name is today, Black Elk Peak. This is the first marker I've seen since starting hiking on the trail today. bench says, enjoy a rest at this vista. The South Dakota State High Point Harney Peak lies directly across the valley at 7,242 feet. Now, where I'm traveling, where this trail ends, there's a tower. You can barely see it. I wish I could zoom in better, but I can't. But there's a tower right in the middle of those two mountainous looking structures to the left hand side, and that is where I'm hiking to. Now this area is known as the Black Elk Forest, I believe, or something like that. It's named after black elk right around here, and black elk was a Native American chief, I believe, medicine man. I'm not for sure on the exact specifics, but he climbed at one point to the top of the peak where we're going, and that he got a vision there on a vision quest, and so it was a very spiritual place, and that was part of the reason for the name change as well. Now I'll be honest, climbing to the top of Black Elk Peak was not on my agenda for this road trip at all, but I got looking. It was really close to where I was staying. It was like, oh, it'll take about a half a day to do it. And so kind of in the spur of the moment, not completely spur of the moment, because I did think about it yesterday a little bit, but I decided to go for it. And so that's what I'm doing. It's about 3.5 miles there, about 4 miles back, because it's a loop type trail all the way. So I am not in anywhere near as shape as I used to be, and I'm quite older than when I used to do all kinds of hiking with Boy Scouts and working at church camp. So we'll see. I want to do it, but it might take me a little while. I've got a canteen and some food, so a first aid kit, so I should be good. And between those two trees, there is a peak, and that is the tower. Once again, that's where I'm heading. I'm a little bit closer now, but still a little ways to go. Section where that tower is has always been a fire outpost, but then in the 1930s, the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, they built the stone structure and turned it into a permanent fire tower, and it's there on the top of Black Elk Peak. All right, down here, but we're going to be going all the way up there. Maybe not right directly there, but you know what I mean. Being out here reminds me of the last part of the video game Red Dead Redemption. Hello. Almost there. There it is. The Harney Tower. I'm almost there. Not the stairs there yet. Soon. Soon and very soon. There it is. Black Elk Peak Point Tower, or the Harney Tower. I did it. I'm inside the tower, at the top of the tower, at the highest point in South Dakota, Black Elk Peak. Well, I've eaten my lunch here next to the pool, and it's time to go back. So let's go back down. That's the space I had to squeeze in to get down by that runoff pool. It's decision time. Do I go back the exact way I came, or do I continue down the opposite way and complete the entire trail? Let's do the whole trail into the unknown. I can tell by the narrowness that this half of the path is not used quite as frequently. Just look at all those Black Hill trees. Just know that somewhere in there, somewhere, There's a bear in there. Look at all the dung. All kinds of dung. So I was just informed, and it's a good thing too, by a couple I met hiking the opposite way I was, that I'm not on the correct path. I'm on a different trail, even though it's got the same name of the trail that I walked up on. It's not the trail that I wanted to be on. And so now I've got about a mile to backtrack to get on below the tower so that I can hike back around on the opposite side of the loop that I wanted to hike around. Good grief. So I just passed the switch off point where you could take the other side and make the loop around the tail, what I had intended to do earlier. And the gentleman who told me I had been going the wrong way anyway informed me that if I went that way, it would be an hour longer than if I went down the way I came originally. Well, since I've already been out of my way almost 2 hours and almost 2 miles the wrong way, I have opted to go the way I came this morning and return by the same path. Something about hiking I kind of miss, actually. Actually, I don't miss because I've been doing a lot of traveling the past 2 years. But you meet a lot of nice people, a lot of friendly people, very helpful people, kind people. There's a few jerks too, but most of the people are really helpful. I know that I went down the wrong path and had to come back, but man, this path going back, it seems a lot longer than the way it was getting here. It seems there's a lot more going uphill than I remember there should be. Should be mostly going downhill. So far, that hasn't been the case. So to show you what I did, here's Black Elk Peak, or Harney Peak. I started going down here to the north end, and I got about a mile, 2 miles in, I guess. So I had to come back. Well, I did it. I'm sitting on the bench at the start of the Black Elk Peak Trail, number 9 south. The fat man conquereth once again. If you're ever in the area, in Custer State Park in South Dakota, it's worth the visit. If you're an excellent hiker, it should only take you about 4 hours to complete the entire route. About 2 hours there, or hour and a half, 2 hours there, hour and a half, 2 hours back, plus some time to spend at the top. If you're someone like me, I should have been done in about 5 hours, and instead, because I took part of the Black Elk Trail number 9 north part of the way, as almost an hour out of my way, and it took me 6 hours, 10 minutes to finish. Well, this has been another adventure in TV land. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you disliked, hit the dislike button. Subscribe to my channel for further content and ring that bell for email notifications. And if there's someplace that you would like to see me visit, leave a comment in the comment section. Until next time, that's a wrap.